So I expect to see not a heavy Gren build. Like 4 Grens, for example, I don't think is what we will see, which is pretty common, or at least 3 Grens. Even Sniper first is possible.
I mean, it's a very good. It's a very good map. It's always been regarded as Oster's map, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Really.
definitely.
The sniper play on here. I think we're definitely going to see that sniper MG maybe is like some of the start, if not Gren MG, and then kind of build into the sniper. Where we have problems here though is Devm's strategies on this map have been insane. I think Devm introduced us to this little house we see north of the mid VP. And that is his favorite house for just rushing an early MG into and securing the strategic cap. And it's a little bit of an issue that people have had where you've got that on the north side, you don't have that kind of flexibility on the south side other than this tiny little. I mean, what are these things even used for? This is ridiculous. This one man accommodating lookout tower, bit of a strange one, but. Yep, here we go. We've got Theodosis playing as the Austere from the south, and Devm USF from the north. And Devm has just beaten GN 2-1 in excellent style, 2-0.
We haven't seen Devm build a mortar the entire day, have we?
I'm not sure on that one, actually. No, I don't think we
At least
have.
not,
It's
not
not
from
really
what I
his
saw.
style.
It's
not
not.
really his
It's
style,
not
though.
aggressive enough, and that's the great thing about Devm is he takes what's OP and he doesn't build them. And this time it's the mortar. It doesn't want mortars. No thanks. Last time, the Pershing didn't care about that. The Calliope not interested. Going for M10s instead. So he really plays his own meta. He does not care what other people are doing at the time. He goes for what he thinks is the most effective and what works for him. That's what we love seeing in Company of Heroes 2. Something great about the game is that there's so much flexibility in terms of how you use units. Even if 2 players have the exact same build order, the same units, you can still play a very different style, different capping orders, different positioning, and that's what makes KO2 so interesting to watch these high tier players, how they use all the tools at their disposal, or how they use it, and to what effect. So we see Theodosis already having a quick MG, getting the fuel with that as well, putting the MG, locking down the VP, or maybe even leaving it in the house once he gets the fuel point is a great way of holding that territory. He won't have the munitions,
I don't know if he's
though.
going to be too concerned with that. I think, especially playing against Devm, I have a feeling that MG is going to be a little more protective of some of the cutoffs, because Devm is bound to reach out to those cutoffs. He's definitely going to be going for the one by the base. Just to try and deny as much fuel as possible. I think it's a very tense thing for Theodosis. I think, Devm has played a consistent style over the years, and Theodosis is going to know exactly what to expect.
See, look at this play, though, from Theodosis. He has the squad of Grens behind the heavy cover on his cutoff, and the MG on the fuel. So Theodosis is really expecting Devm to play aggressively and try and deny the territory of Theodosis, which at the moment Devm actually isn't doing, and that's working in his favor now because he has a bit of a map control lead. He has more points. He has a munitions point where Theodosis does not. So you could say he's metagaming in the most traditional definition of the word, which is where you kind of outsmart your opponent in terms of what they expect you to do and then don't do it.
A little bit, yeah, but I mean, I would say this is pretty descriptive of Devm right now, to be honest. This kind of push for that strategic cutoff. Look at that flank from the rifleman now on the fuel. Completely got past Theodosis. It was a really bad position from the MG. Now he's only left with the Pioneers to defend the fuel point. Double riflemen are going to make a quick meal of that one.
That MG retreat was a big deal. If that MG was in the house, he would have been okay. He would have been able to hold his fuel point. But now he has to retreat. The Pioneers can't trade at long range. And the sniper's on the way with a squad of grenadiers, but moving the sniper over to that field point, it runs the risk of being flanked. Fortunately, Theodosis is actually escorting his sniper. He has a squad of Grens right there next to him, and another squad of Grens as well off to the side. So it's good synergy by Theodosis not leaving the sniper on its own undefended. Devm going to be taking up now to his lieutenant. Has the resources for an M20, which might be a good idea. You're going for the M20, exactly, because he has the sniper on the field already. It's a very open map. Also, you can have some really nice mine placement with the vehicle mine from the M20. So I actually quite like that as opposed to the AA half track that we saw in our last game.
Going to be an interesting one, to be honest. I mean, we're seeing now. Oh, it was another squad of Grenadiers there. I wonder what he's going to go for. Hasn't decided. Yes, now he's going for Battle Phase 1. So I think he's thinking it's a good time to bring out the scout car. And he couldn't be more right, to be honest, with that M20 getting on the field. The scout car will complement that very, very well. I kind of hope we get to see Devm maybe hop the crew out of the scout car to get the benefit of a bazooka squad vehicle crew on the field. And maybe put the echelons in the M20 so that you still get kind of like a double bonus from that tech decision. It's one of the things I really love seeing when the M20 is built and you do have that echelon squad still floating around. Downside for Theodosis though is that M20 is going to come out and he's still got to build his tier 2 and get the scout car. And I think he can do it, but he's going to run out of time quite quickly. M20 may even decide it can get up into base territory.
Armored Skirt's only just now finishing. Didn't take much damage from that MG. Can get shredded rather fast if the Armored Skirts aren't completed. Going in now for the MG. Going to have to retreat that one. Theodosis was looking over the cutoff, but the M20 can just go through that arc. Grenadier looking for a Faust here with a flank. He's going to find it too. Another squad nearby for a Faust as well. He can probably just use the smoke and the crit repair. Not sure if the crew is Vet 2 or not. Doesn't take very long though, so he should be able to get that one off. Even then, the Grenadier is a little bit too far behind. The Lieutenant's there with the bar to prevent the Grens from chasing that one down. Now going for the cutoff.
You know what, I remember seeing Zarok last week play the double MG strategy, and I kind of think that might be something that could work against Devm. The double MGs would really stop him from climbing this way. He'd probably have to tech to grenades just to get the smoke early on to start negating the position of the machine guns. And delaying his tech and maybe still being able to climb up to tier 2 first for the scout car could be really beneficial.
Theodosis also needs to get a med bunker out. Especially against an M20. If you don't have those Grens at full health, or the MG crew in particular, you can get the manpower bleeder at long range. It's pretty punishing. Does have the scout car on the field now. The goal for Theodosis is to get that fuel point back. He needs to get that fuel. Doesn't want to give that to Devm. Otherwise, he'll rush out a Sherman very quickly like we saw last game. Getting a munitions point would be nice, but not as important, I think, as holding that fuel.
M20, great map awareness from Devm there. Saw that the Pioneers were soft capping on this side. And he's going to chase him down with the M20. In fact, no, he's changed his mind now. He's going to go elsewhere. Look at this rifleman hiding there. Theodosis tries to get the rifle grenade, but Devm was too well hidden behind the house. Doesn't quite connect.
It's only a 4-man squad, so he might not actually win this fight. Especially if the Grens go behind the heavy cover. No, it doesn't even need to. So it would have been a nice play if it was a 5-man squad, but couldn't win the engagement there, being 1 man down.
Yeah, I think if he'd closed the distance a little bit more, he may have been more inclined to have won that fight. Shame though, of course, the veterancy, and they went in with a little bit of a health loss, so quite an easy pick there for Theodosis.
So you're right, Devm has evacs his M20 crew out, has the mobile bazooka now to ward off the 222. The only problem of doing that though is the rear echelon don't automatically repair. So whenever I do that, I always forget about that, and then my M20 doesn't repair itself.
Yeah, that is of course an issue in a sense, but I mean, for someone with the kind of micro Devm has, I'm pretty sure it doesn't bother him one bit.
I'm not Devm, exactly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he'll remember. Look at this though, M20 charging into the base, looking for the sniper. It's going to get that increased damage on the retreat path. Now it pops smoke the scout car. I don't think he can attack ground, so he's going to probably get away from this rear echelon, sorry, the vehicle crew with the bazooka. There for support, but they do get suppressed and pushed away. That was a very dangerous play from Devm there, but again, you know, with good micro, he's able to deal with that situation quite well.
Good nerves, because I think most players would have just gone for the sniper. They would have gone, oh dear, committed to it, gone for the sniper, trade the M20 for the sniper, and that's it. But Devm, he didn't panic. He popped the smoke and he just drove away. No problems at all. He didn't lose anything. I like how he also had the bazooka there to wound the 222, maybe scare him away from the M20, but at the same time, it may have actually backfired because it meant that the 222 backed away from the bazooka and then drove towards where the M20 was coming in for the sniper. But maybe it was more just Devm seeing the opportunity to go for the sniper and then going in for it without thinking too much about it. But I think with the M20, that's how you want to play. You want to try and dive the sniper down.
I think Devm's going to get another excellent flank on this fuel point. He's got the rifleman there just hovering around. Oh, look at this, though. Theodosis goes for the rifle grenade. It hits the building. How unfortunate was that? That was near perfect sight, and I don't know how he spotted it either.
I think, look at the very back MG crew. The guy's quite far behind the MG. That's why.
Yeah, do you know what? Let's put the fog of war on. He would have been able to see that. Yeah, just there.
He's still there.
Not as concealed as he thought at all. You don't really know what Devm's doing here. It looks like a bit of a distraction. He's just kind of wasting Theodosis' time until more reinforcements come in. The vehicle crew getting ready to take on the scout car now as well. The M20's back in action.
Hey, Devm has a mortar. Very aggressive where he is. Is he trying to barrage the medic bunker? I'm not sure why it's that far forward.
Look at that flank with the rifleman. Grenade goes in. It's going to be a nice grenade. Does a couple of models. M20 goes in to engage the grenadiers. A Faust may go off, but it's not going to do that much at the moment. Now we're seeing a bar rifleman push the gap, but they don't have the veterancy to deliver an AT snare. Mortar's horribly unguarded there from Devm.
So what happened there?
Opportunity for grenadiers to pick that up.
So what happened is it loses the mortar as well. Wow. So the mortar was basically behind the hedge. A rifle nade wiped the mortar, so then Devm recaptured the mortar with a rifle squad, and then the Grens were able to wipe the rifle squad, and then wipe the mortar again, and then steal the mortar. So a very bad turnaround there for Devm. 2-2 going in after this M20 could stand to lose this one as well, and there's no bazooka in that crew. It's a rear echelon, so doesn't have any chance of turning this one around, but at least he's able to keep the rear echelon squad alive. Theodosis deciding to finish off the M20. Some players may have tried to preserve the M20 and steal it away.
Well, we do have a commander pick of mobile defense for Theodosis. I really don't like this. I think this is one of those commanders that loses game if you do drag into getting the kind of off-map Pumas so much and no other kind of tech. I don't really feel he needed it, though, after getting the M20 with that scout car. I guess maybe he's just fearing the amount of fuel Devm has, and quite rightly so, in fairness. Question is, though, are these Pumas going to keep up when the Shermans and the Jacksons start coming out? And you know, I think he'd probably have more luck with some AT guns and some real tech, to be honest.
The Ostrupen were called in before the M20 went down, so he probably wouldn't have gone for them after he killed the M20. It was definitely beforehand. A little bit unlucky as well.
No, they were on the field before. They delivered the Faust to the M20 as well, so...
Right. Yeah, they didn't actually get the LMG with the Ostrupen. There's a certain chance that you'll get the LMG per squad. So you can get 0, you can get 2, you can get 1. It's a bit of a luck draw, the LMG poker.
Interestingly enough, we're in a situation where Devm's had a great early game in terms of map control on VPs, but Theodosis hasn't really lost anything. He's playing very well. The veterancy is starting to get up. He's got a bigger army than Devm has on the field at present. So I would actually say with the right kind of positioning here, he stands in a very, very good position to prevent Devm from doing anything nasty at this point. My worry is that Devm may reach out for tactical support, and we could see later game Calliope barrages with the M19s on squads, and that's going to make things very, very difficult for Ostrupen.
Devm getting his mage now, and he has the fuel for a Sherman, so a little bit late with his tech. Bit too much manpower bleed, I think, trying to replace all his squads. So he will have that Sherman out, and Theodosis doesn't have his Battle Phase 2, so he will have to rely on the Puma, which on a map this open can actually do pretty well against the Sherman. Nade comes off onto the MG, only gets one model, and once again, very aggressive plays with the vehicle crew, with the bazooka, more riflemen looking for some damage. A little bit too close into the base, but Devm, he's had a great map so far. He's had the VP control for the most part. He's 200 VPs ahead of his opponent. Theodosis now down at 305. So I wonder if it's worth Devm going for a Jackson into a Calliope. And then he can play a more defensive game, but no, that was not what I expected. Instead, he's going for the Sherman, so probably to see him go Sherman spam to victory, which is really all he needs to do. Or maybe instead go for a Pershing as his second tank if he has the command points by then.
You can see, by the way, Theodosis really is realizing the threat of the fuel advantage that Devm has right now. He was capping VP on the right, probably could have won an engagement as well. Instead, he's going to go for the fuel decap. Of course, he doesn't realize it's not going to be in time, as that Sherman's going to be in the field within the minute. He does have access to the Puma, and he has the AT gun. Double vetted scout car means he's going to have really, really good sight range on the map. Just look at the sight benefits that that's giving him at the moment. So hopefully the Puma and the AT going to have a pretty good game against this, which is going to be a great benefit to Theodosis. He really needs to keep that scout car alive in a good position.
I think he's going straight for the command vehicle. Or maybe he'll go with the Puma once he sees the Sherman come out. But the command vehicle is really nice to have, especially when you have the smoke with it. And it buffs all the squads nearby, the vehicles as well. So it's such a great unit to have to just complement your army. Ostrupin on the right side going to get focused by the Sherman and the squad of riflemen as well. So let's see if he actually loses this one. Wow, great HE shot there. This squad is going down. Unfortunate timing of the cap there, capping whilst the Sherman was being built, so arriving and getting that squad wipe. Only Ostrupin though, not as big of a deal as a Gren or one of the support weapons, but still going to be limiting his capping power a little bit. Theodosis has recovered the map pretty well. He's got 2 VPs in his favor. He has a fuel point, getting a munitions point now, which he hasn't had the entire game. It's actually one great thing about going a support weapon heavy playstyle and not going many Grens, is then you don't need as many munitions for it to work.
Oh, great shot from the Sherman there. Wipes the squad of Pioneers.
Okay, Puma's been called in. Sherman's already taken a bit of damage. He's going after the Ostrupin in the house. So this Sherman is on Ostrupin hunting duty. No way Ostrupin will survive this one. He's probably just going to leave him there to die.
Like,
Maybe getting a Faust off, the best thing he can do.
Well.
No, okay. If he Fausted that and followed up with a Puma and the 222, maybe in a wipe there. That retreat was probably a little bit futile. Yeah, loses the squad there. Puma now going to be facing up, but with the rifles there, the Puma can't go too aggressively for fear of the AT grenades. Though only one of them has access to it. The other one's still vet 0.
Maybe an interesting engagement here. The Riflemen versus the Grenadiers. How are they going to manage it? Smoke gets popped in, probably to stop the AT gun from taking shots. The sniper as well is also in a bit of a bad position for the smoke grenade. AT gun's forced to retreat. Will the Sherman come back in after healing? Already forcing away Pioneers and the Grenadiers from this engagement. It's a pretty good push, and again it just shows us just Devm's accuracy with these kind of with these kind of throwbacks. The smoke there was such a great position. It made things so difficult for Theodosis to do anything. He's ended up retreating half his army off a point that he was progressing against.
Double
Devm
fuel now for
Devm.
Devm.
The vehicle crews haven't repaired the Sherman though, so that's a bit of a waste of time there. Maybe the Puma can go in and sort that out.
Yeah, about 2/3 health. Got to be careful about the Puma. So building a second Sherman makes a lot of sense. He has still quite a fair bit of pop cap until he has access to a Pershing or his Calliope. And Theodosis, he has 2 packs, so he's going to be relying on the packs, which makes the Calliope a great choice against that. Will be the Command Panzer as well. So Puma, Command Panzer 222. He can play aggressively with this and try and hunt down the Sherman if there isn't any riflemen for support. Having the rifleman field defenses for the mines would be a good investment as well, just to prevent the Puma from being aggressive, but I think ultimately the Calliope is going to be the best choice in this situation.
Yeah, I would like to see the Calliope. It's a shame that he's already spent a lot of his munitions on the bars, because I think this is one of those maps where
Stages.
LMGs like the well, the M19s do well. It's nice in these engagements, and it's not like Austere has that much indirect fire that M19s are going to become a problem. They're going to match up well to the Grenadiers LMGs. because he's already spent it on the bars for the early game. So I don't know, I don't know about this Calliope choice. Really interested to see what he is going to pick though at some point.
Yeah, he has a fair bit of options here. I feel like if he doesn't go Calliope...
This could be a terrible Puma assault right here. It's going to take a shot. The Sherman may take an 18 nade though from Devm. Devm hasn't actually hit the button for 18 nade yet though. Not sure what the Puma's doing. It's not going to win at this kind of range. AT Gun's also taking a shot. Puma goes down. A little bit of a waste there. We also see Sherman taken down in the center. I think that's another AT combination with the Command Panzer Force. It's a good trade right now. AT Gun just missing a hit on the Sherman as well. Could have taken that down. So
yeah, that was crazy. There was 2 engagements happening at the same time there. Devm almost saved the middle Sherman. He went in with a rifleman and threw a grenade on the pack. But the pack just barely survived, fired the shot which killed the Sherman, and then the pack was decrewed by the rifleman. So could have gone better for both of our players, trading a Puma for a Sherman. You'd think it's a better trade for the Wehrmacht player, the Sherman being more expensive, but given how much fuel Devm has at his disposal, I would say that's definitely benefiting Devm. He can replace that very easily.
Being so sneaky with those riflemen again on the fuel point. There you go. You can probably see how these riflemen are getting seen now as well, because on that corner they haven't quite got full protection there, and it looks like the scout car is going to come in. Vet 3 scout car now, by the way. Let's look how many kills it's got. 9 kills. Not sure if it feels confident.
Sniper has done pretty well for Theodosis. He's got 29 kills so far, which against the US is a lot of manpower bleed. On his way to Vet 3 as well, will give him even better rate of fire. So, when you have this many squads of riflemen, the manpower bleed can definitely become a problem in the late game. The 2-2 bullying around the rifleman. Couldn't use the AT grenade there due to the minimum range, so he had to retreat that one. Trying to focus the rifleman down, but on negative cover the Grens will take too much, especially against that HE Sherman. May backfire horribly here. Could even lose the Grens. HE Sherman misses the shot, and the Grens do survive. So there's still 2 packs here for Theodosis. Devm hasn't locked in a commander just yet, and he can go for any of the call-ins that he desires. He has a fair bit of choices here. Another Puma.
As you know, this game is very, very far from over at this point. Notice that Theodosis also got some telemines laid down as well, just in case Devm does decide to go for that aggressive push. And I would like to say that Theodosis is probably past the hardest part of Devm's game right now, which is that early game, threat. So that now that he's got himself with some decent equipment on the field, I think he's going to be able to start pushing back Devm if he displays a similar level of micro.
The clumping of that Grens was antsy there. The thing is with the Grens is whenever Theodosis caps the middle VP, oh, actually, the Sherman could go down here. Will he land the Faust? Not quite a Faust just yet. Pack and the Puma getting another shot off. Will he go in with the Puma? There's going to be a bazooka there for the Peels. The Sherman will survive that one. It's actually Vet 2 for now, so it's going to be pretty effective here. But with the Grens, he keeps putting them on the wall. And when they're in front of cover, it means that ballistic shells, such as tanks, they're going to scatter into the wall and explode the AoE. So being in front of cover against tanks is really, really bad. You're way better off being out in the open, not only for the fact that you're more spaced, but then also just because the tank shell won't scatter back into the wall and explode on your face. Tightrope did a really great video explaining that, and it actually makes a pretty big difference.
Yeah, positioning in this game is so important. I think we obviously all realise how that is. And little things like that, of course, do change the tide of games quite quickly.
Oh, the sniper goes down!
Sherman.
Despite the suppression on the LT, Sherman's going very aggressively. He's found a Puma, but they phase through each other. Is it right in front of the pack here? 2 packs, in fact, and a Puma. He's a dead Sherman now. And that's it for the tank army of Devm, but he can replace that with a Pershing.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good engagement for Theodosis. All he has to do is keep building, keep hold to what he's got. He didn't lose that much. The sniper, not too much of a loss in the grand scheme of things, I don't think. But look at this chase down with the Command Panzer IV. Nothing on the field to stop it at the moment. Insane. Devm locks him with the Pershing. He's clearly going to call that out in a second. This is a crazy push. I think Theodosis is going to go all in at this moment.
So many juicy targets to wipe. Doesn't get any of them. So many squads so close to being wiped. And the Command P4... he failed his job, driving back now in disappointment and dishonor on his way to commit seppuku. But the Pershing should be alright.
He's clearly shooting blind. I mean, he's just popped out of his tank just to binoculars back and see if he actually killed anything.
Oh, like, look at the manpower bleed, though. Devm, he could afford a Pershing, and then he had to reinforce all his squads, and all of a sudden, back down to 250 manpower. So that was, man, that was a brutal engagement there. Deciding not to go for the Pershing. But I don't think he really needs it at this stage. Reinforcing his squads, I think, is the better choice. Get the two VPs back in his control, especially with the two packs. The packs are both Vet 1 as well, so they can chain the target weak point.
Look at that suppression there from Theodosis. 4 squad suppression, more than half of Devm's army. Instantly goes down there. Theodosis hasn't seen this grenade from the left side. Gonna lose that grenadier if he doesn't get it out. Oh, he does, and it drops the LMG. Is there a possibility that this rifleman squad can pick it up? I can only see 1 bar on the squad, so it looks like they may go and get that.
That's crazy.
To say about it, though.
With only 1 squad of Grens now, the riflemen are going to be able to walk all over these support weapons. They can blob their way through the MG with a smoke. They can run after the packs and decrew them. The Command P4 doesn't have the damage to deal with this, and with only Pumas for support, there's just no way to prevent these blobs from really getting this work done unless we see another MG come out. Theodosis actually builds a squad of Grens, and the Pyros were able to recap the LMG, so preventing Devm from getting that one is nice to see. We also have the option for combined arms, something that we haven't seen Devm go for, something that actually most players neglect, and the Pershing's now going to be available.
Yep, hasn't reached for it yet though. I wonder what he's doing there, whether he's going to try reinforce first, then call out the Pershing. Nope, Pershing is now on the field. This is the unit we think... Where's the engine sound? 1 second. Always happens with these.
Yeah, the Pershing's much quieter.
It's so quiet.
It is. Silent but deadly.
Sure.
So, I don't even know if the Pershing is actually worth building at this stage. 2 Vet 1 packs, a Puma and a Command P4. This could actually go down very quickly if he's not careful. Calliope would have been such a better choice right now, but going for the AT grenade here could lose his Puma. The reason why he went for the Pershing is because he was worried the Panzer IV was going to wipe all his squads, and if he didn't go for that Pershing, he definitely could have lost his squads there. So I think I understand why he went it, but has to be a little bit careful. He does get the Puma though, so already having a great time, and now he's going to be able to circle this pack. Second pack's on the way, though.
Really terrible play, though, from the AT gun. It just walked straight up. It could have set up way before that point. Actually managing to get a couple of hits off, which is unexpected, but that really was bad.
No target weak point there at all, so the Pershing backs away, kills the pack. Can be recrewed, but it will lose the Vet 2 it was, so that's definitely a nice little pick-off there by Devm. The Command P4's got a fair bit of kills as well. He's got 13 kills so far. The LMG Pyos alongside the Flamer Pyos going to be forcing away all those American squads. And the Puma, is he chasing down this Pershing? He is.
He certainly is going for it. He's going to take the shortcut as well. This could be a really good play, or it could go horribly.
Oh, but the rear arm is facing the Puma. No, he doesn't quite find it. He underestimated how far it travels. Meanwhile, another aggressive play for the cutoff here. Could nade this 2-2-2. He's going to lose that Vet 3 one. It's a pretty big blow. That vision can be very powerful in this late game situation. There's also a MG on the ground. He can't quite steal that one though. The mortar taking the 4th model down. Especially having access to the smoke, he can steal those weapons very easily. But Devm's still looking very strong here. He has 468 VPs to his name, only 110 for Theodosis. Running out of squads, doesn't have any good vehicles. Just a Puma and a Command P4 won't deal with these vetted barred riflemen. And with only 1 pack now, the Pershing's going to have a lot more freedom, but that pack will get recrewed eventually. But I think the Rifleman will just get the double cap, if not triple cap, and close this game out.
We'll see. We've got 100 VPs exactly left for Theodosis at the moment. Devm just has to play a very careful game with this Pershing. He will be in a very good spot. He's also left himself 40 manpower, sorry, 40 pop cap to play with as well. So he should be able to build up a pretty good counter to what Theodosis has on the field at this point.
He already has it. What does this many barred
Get
vet
more
free
of it.
rifle? Yeah, exactly. When you're ahead, get more ahead, as the famous Day 9 likes to say. LMG Grens having just a hard time standing up against this many rifle squads. They're outnumbered. There's more of them. They have more veterancy. They have more weapons. And we're going to have the Pershing going after the Puma. Yeah, he misses the shot. There's 2 packs now setting up. Target weak point would be great right now. He actually uses it as well. Doesn't connect by the looks of things, though. There goes the Puma in the middle. The P4 taking a bit of damage from the bazooka, but that should be okay. Hasn't lost any of the riflemen just yet. And now the Pershing opening up on this P4. Has the armored skirts for now, but will he actually save him? The HEVAP round's already been used on the Puma, so he can't finish off that P4. Rifle squad has
Absolutely
flanked the support
relentless,
weapons.
though.
And a nade comes through for this
Absolutely
mortar.
relentless.
Yeah, he loses that. Vet 3 mortar goes down. And currently the triple cap is on for Devm. It was a nice flank, though, because Devm, he didn't just mass his way through the middle. He actually split up his army. He had the Pershing on the left side. He had the rifles in the middle. He had a squad on the left as well supporting the Pershing. So that's pretty signature Devm, is when he goes for those massive attacks, he prepares for them quite well by splitting up his forces, and it catches your opponent out of position because they can't deal with so many different squads coming from different locations. Even when they were in the middle, that they were still spread out across it.
Yeah, it is a tough one because you really do need a great support structure to beat that kind of thing. It does seem like Devm's micro has been really on point as well. It just some of the losses we've seen, yeah, okay, that's been fair play to Theodosis, but a lot of the infantry engagements have been won. I think you can see that in the infantry veterancy. Just how effective he's been with his micro. A couple of situations where Theodosis just hasn't managed to avoid grenades and other things like that. So look at this as well. Command Panzer IV horrifically out of position, Pershing on the rear armor.
Target weak point.
Guns are even going to be able to stop that though.
He's actually taking a fair bit of damage here from the double packs. The P4's turning for its frontal armor. He loses the Pershing. Smoke off, but too late. Will the Rifleman finish off this P4 with the nade? It is actually available here. He's going to be using it, but he may lose the squad in time. No, it bounced. It barely survives. Even with the bounce, it still does 80 damage, but it wasn't enough to take out that P4. Bazooka here from the vehicle crew. Oh, it bounced again! Yeah, it's flashy and all, but yeah, you are right. The VP is draining down. It's going to be GG here for Devm.
Yeah, I mean, that last push wasn't as victorious or glorious as I think we thought it would be, because obviously Devm's just sending in everything to distract Theodosis from walking over to any of the VPs. So, you know, Devm, that's a nice little strategy. You may as well throw it, because he knew it would give him the time he needed to close that game. And then we go. Game 1 goes into the hands of Devm. Very good play from Devm there. That's the kind of aggressiveness that a lot of people find really, really hard to play against with him. It's always a pleasure to watch, and it's kind of a bit of a unique play style. Most people can't handle the micro for that level of aggression.